Pride and welcome to my graffiti design set workshop. In this workshop I'm going to teach you how to do graffiti style nails. I really hope you guys enjoy this workshop, so let's get started. Hi everyone and welcome to my graffiti inspired design set workshop. So in this workshop I am going to create a graffiti design across 3 nails. So I've already prepared and completed these 2 nails, and then I'm going to do the 3rd nail to match it up, and we are doing the word love. So I have done these 2 nails and I'm going to use exactly the same techniques as I've used on these 2 on this one to show you how it's done. So on this nail I've already sketched out my E and the remainder of the V coming off onto this nail. So just like I have done the O coming across onto this nail, we're going to do exactly the same with the V. So the first thing I've done is I have sketched out just a rough design on here of where my E is going to go, and I have done 2 coats of my base, which I have used Angel Wings. So Angel Wings is from our Opulence collection, and it has got a really subtle fleck, not glitter, it's a fleck to it, okay, and it's almost like a milk bath, so it's not a stark white, which is what I wanted my background to be. And then I have gone in with 1 coat of Material Girl, which is our matte top coat, and that has given me a really nice surface to be able to do my pencil drawing on, and also enable me to go in with my painting. So the first thing we're going to do is our bubble background, and for that I am using Pop from the Pop Art collection, which is a beautiful bright pink. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of that down on my palette, and then I'm going to use my 5mm brush, and I'm going to go straight in to my pink, load up my brush and do all of my outlining first. So I'm going to come around and do my outline of my background. So this is like a bubble sort of cloud effect. So I'm just doing those outlines first. Now I haven't done these 2 because what I want to do is marry it up with this nail that I've already done, which is what I did with the first nail and the 2nd nail. So just to make sure that they sort of marry up from one nail to another, which is really important to create that flow. Okay, so now I've done that, I can pop this nail back and then continue to fill in the rest of this design. So I'm going to go in to where my V is and fill this out, and obviously if you're doing this on a client you want to steer clear of their side walls, so make sure you create that border between their skin and this uncured product. And then I'm going to come across and create that little indentation between the V and the E, and then do the rest of my design. So I can get away with doing 1 coat of this colour because it is so highly pigmented that it allows me to get this done in 1. So I'm just literally concentrating on doing my outline. I'm not worrying about anything else at the moment. I just want to make sure that I've got these inside edges nice and crisp. So making sure that my corners are nice and pointed where I want them to be pointed. Now to get this graffiti lettering design, all I did was I went on good old Google and typed in graffiti, and it came up with lots of different lettering styles. So with graffiti there is that little bit of free reign. It means that you can do bubble writing or you can do more angular writing. It's entirely up to you and what look you're going for. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in now the rest of this negative space area, creating that border down my side wall, and just literally filling it in with a nice, even, consistent layer of this gel polish. Now this is gel polish, not gel paint, so it is going to spread, so you do need to work quite quickly, but to be quite honest, this doesn't spread too much. It does tend to stay where you put it, but depending on which brand you're using, obviously I'm using my own, then you need to be aware of that. So I'm just floating this product out into that negative space, and I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger because I don't want too much negative space at the top of this nail. And then fill that in. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my second nail again, pop it next to, and just make sure, yeah, I've got that line in there where the V meets the E, and then come down and fill that out. So once you're happy with that, I'm going to pop that into the lamp for a full cure, and because this is normal gel polish, as I say, that is just a 30-second cure. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to pop down my colours for my lettering. So we've created an ombre on here, so I've chosen two colours that ombre really nice together. So I've chosen Zap, again from the Pop Art collection, which is a super bright yellow. And then to ombre together, I've used Wow, again from the Pop Art collection. I'm just going to pop that down. And then we have got some bubble accents, which I have used Pow for. So I'm also going to put that down on my palette, ready for when I need that. And then we are also going to need a white. So I've used Innocence from the Core collection. So I'm going to pop that down as well. So this has now had a full cure, and again I'm going to go in with my 5mm brush and create this ombre. So I want to come in and I'm going to do my V first with a nice clean brush. We don't want any of that pink in there anymore. And I'm going to again go to my outline and butt these colours up against each other and then float this yellow down. Now I don't want to bring it all the way down, and you need to make sure that your ombre is consistent across all of the letters. So you want to make sure, if I put them together, that they ombre at the same point, okay, so across all of here. So this ombre is going to, the blend zone is going to be here. So I don't want to bring my yellow all the way down. I want to allow for that blend zone, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. Now, even though these letters are touching, I want to do them separately, okay, because I want to create that line to be able to put my outline into. So I'm just going into my green now and bringing that into my bottom section, and I'm going to leave a gap here. Okay, so there's a gap between my yellow and my green, and the reason I've done that is because I'm now going to go in with, I've cleaned my brush off, a nice clean brush, and I'm just going to pull these two colours together really, really gently. Now you could use an ombre brush for this, but it's too big. You're not going to be able to concentrate it enough into this section. So I've literally just pulled those two colours together. Got a little bubble in there which I want to get rid of. There we go. And now what I'm going to do, between the blend and the green, I'm going to pull those together just to create a softer ombre, and then also between that yellow and the blend. Okay, so I'm hardly touching the nail here. I just literally want these colours to start to merge into one another, and you can see how easy that is to do. So I'm really happy with that blend, and I'm going to pop that into the lamp for a quick flash cure, which is 30 seconds. So I've just had that in the lamp just to cure that, to make sure that it doesn't bleed out. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with my E. So I'm going to come in and do my outline. Pull that out, and this one's nice and easy because this whole top section is yellow, or whatever colour you choose. You could do blues and purples, greens and blues, purples and pinks. It's entirely up to you. So again, making sure that it's nice and crisp, butting those colours up against one another, and then bringing it down. So this blend here falls on this central part of the E, okay? So what I want to do is just give myself a little bit of playroom, and I'm going to bring that up to create that nice crisp line there. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my green and fill in my bottom section first, because this is all green. And again, butting those colours up against each other, making sure that we've got those nice crisp lines. And getting that nice crisp line is going to really help you when you come to do your outlining. So just floating that product out, and now I'm going to leave that gap like we did before. Floating this out. And then I'm going to make my life easier for that ombre in this central part and just do a little line of green there to bring that into one another. Okay, so I'm now going to clean off my brush, and then we're going to again just smooch these together using that really light feathering technique, taking it up into that central part and then bringing it back out. And we're floating this rather than painting it, okay? You don't want to have any brush strokes in there. You want to be as gentle as you possibly can. And then once you're happy with that, that's going to go into the lamp, and I'm going to fully cure that now for 30 seconds. And then I'm going to grab my dotting tool. So I have got my dotting tool here, and I'm going to use a combination of my small dotting tool and my pointy dotting tool to create my bubble effect around the outside of this. So I'm going to go into my pink, and on that background I'm going to create some dots and just do these randomly wherever you feel fit. Okay, and then on the pink I'm going to do the purple. So I'm going to come in like so, and they're all different sizes. And just pop those dots in like so. So again, that's going to go in for a quick flash cure, which is just a 10 or 15-second cure, depending on how confident you are. And then I'm going to go into my white. And we're going to add some more accent dots just around the outside here, but I'm going to do my purple first actually. So I'm going to come into my purple and just place smaller dots around those pink dots. Okay, and then again into the lamp for a quick cure. Now for my outline, I am going to use my black gel paint. Now the reason I'm using black gel paint and not gel polish is because this is going to hold its own weight, and it's going to allow me to do all of my outlining work in one rather than in and out of the lamp like we would be with a polish. Okay, so I'm going to use my fine liner, And I'm just going to pop a little bit of that down and then fully load that up, making sure that we've got a nice even consistent load on our brush, because that will give us a nice even consistent line. So the first thing I'm going to do is lay my line down between my V and my E, making sure that that line is nice and even. If there's any inconsistencies in it, just go back over it, like so. I'm not worried about the shading part at the moment, because we will do that separately once this has cured. So coming along this side and then bringing that around the top. I want these edges to be slightly rounded. We don't want them to be too sharp. I'm just going to create a little overlap there. And then I'm going to come in and do my E. So in exactly the same way, just pulling that product. And because we've created that divot between our two polishes where they're meeting, it allows us to lay our brush down into that. And it really does make your life easier. Which is why when we butt our colours up against each other, we need to make sure that it's nice and crisp. Okay. So now I'm going to do the end of my E, taking it nice and slowly. If you do mess it up, you can go in with your gel residue wipe off solution and remove this, because we have cured everything underneath, which really does make our life easier, especially when you're doing fine line work, because it means that you can go in and remove any mistakes without hindering anything that we've done on that background. And then just finishing this off now. You can see how this black gel paint is holding its own weight, whereas if we were doing this in a polish, we would have had to have flash cured by now, which can be really annoying and frustrating when you're doing a client in and out of the lamp. Whereas if you can get as much work as you can done in one go, it's far easier for you and much more comfortable for your client too. So I'm going to pop that into the lamp now, and then we're going to go in once that has cured. I'm just going to do it for a flash cure, which is 30 seconds, because a full cure is 60 for a gel paint. And then we're going to do our shading, or our shadow. So if you don't know how to do this, then just copy the photo. It really is that simple. Okay, so I'm just putting in my lines first of all of my shading. It doesn't matter if it goes over the bubbles that we've created. I think it adds to that graffiti effect if those bubbles start to go into the shading. And then a straight line down from here. And then this line is slightly thicker. And then coming in. So this is very much a trust the process moment. Again, if you make a mistake, you can go in and remove it, because you have cured everything below this. Okay, now I'm just going to marry these two up again. Make sure I'm on the right track, which I am. So I'm going to bring that down here. Again, marry it up. Perfect. And then I'm going to bring this around here and marry that up. Like so. And then I'm going to do a little bit of shading just here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with my brush and I'm going to fill in all of this negative space. So I can allow to have a little bit more on my brush now, and then just float that product out, because we've put in our nice crisp lines on this. So it means that we've got our safety zones to be able to work to. And then I'm going to fill in this entire area here. Making sure that we get right into those corners. And then here as well. Again, making sure you get into those corners. Like so. And then just this part here. Like so. So that is now going to go into the lamp for a full cure, and because this is gel paint, that means it is a 60-second cure. Okay, so this has now had full cure, and now we're going to do some what I'm now calling wobble lines. So it is just a tiny little line just to accentuate the angles that we have put in. So there's one on top of our V, one on top of our E, and also one here on this outer edge of our E. And now I'm going to completely clean off my brush because we are done with our black, and I don't want this next part to turn a dirty grey. And I'm going to go into my white and add in my highlight. So nice even load, and I'm going to come up this side of my V, and then I'm going to come on this corner of my E, like so, and then also this corner here of my E, and also just on this end here. So now I'm going to use my 5mm brush, and I'm just going to do a little bit more dot work. So I'm just going to add some highlights to my inner dots and my outer dots. So just randomly in size again. And this just adds a little bit more dimension and interest to those flecks. The reason I'm using my brush is because I can get a super tiny dot like this one here. Okay, so that's now going to go into the lamp for a full cure. Now it's entirely up to you whether you go matte or shiny on this. I've decided to go matte because you don't really tend to see shiny brick walls, which is where graffiti tends to hang out. So I'm going to use my Material Girl, which is our beautiful soft matte top coat. Okay, so this is going to also soften those ombres and create that really soft effect. But if you wanted to go shiny on these, then you absolutely can. It's entirely up to you. And obviously, if you're doing this on a client, it's their choice too, because it's their nails. So these are the two nails that I've already done, so our L and our O, which marry up beautifully. And then we have got the remainder of our V here, and then the remainder of the rest of our V is on our third nail. So this has now had a full cure, and I'm going to go in with my matte top coat. So while this mat is wet, you'll see what it looks like when it's shiny. And obviously, if you're doing this on a client, you need to be sure that you steer well clear of their cuticles sidewalls, and also make sure that you cap that free edge. So this is what the nail would look like shiny, and I think it takes away from that detail that we've put in there. So I'm going to pop that into the lamp for a full cure. And then once that has fully cured, we will have completed this workshop. So I'm just going to take these off of their stand so that they sit nicely together, and then you'll be able to see the full effect as one. I absolutely love this design, and if you do recreate it and you do it in different colors, then please make sure you tag me on Facebook and share it within our workshop group and let me see them, because I think different colors and different words and letters, and you could even hashtag these, I think they would look absolutely awesome. So this one has now had a full cure, and I'm going to pop it down, and there you have it, our graffiti design set workshop. So as always, I really hope you guys have enjoyed it.
I really hope you guys enjoyed this workshop, and if you did, please make sure you click the subscribe button, and if you want to see any future workshops, just click them down below. Thank you as always so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.